Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Peng, and if you are new here, welcome. I'm very pleased to see you here. Please excuse my voice. I've got a terrible flu. I've got a terrible summer flu, and I couldn't postpone this video any longer. The message that I have for you guys today has been pressing on me. It's been pressing on me, and the scripture that I'm going to read from is Psalm chapter 55 verse 22, and it says, "Cast your burdens on the Lord and he will sustain you." I have my journal here, and I'm going to read some of my thoughts, some of my feelings. I know, cringing, right? Cringing moment right there, but I'm going to read them to you guys. And I'm going to be talking about my postpartum journey, my story about postpartum, what I'm going through, what I've been going through this past year, and hopefully it will reach and help one or more people, ladies, your cousin, maybe yourself or your cousin, your woman, your sister, your friend, whoever the lady in your life is at that moment. Maybe it might help them out. Yeah, let's just get right into it. So I'm going to keep referring to that verse every now and again, so that's why I read it in the beginning. But postpartum depression is defined as the inability to adapt to the life after having a baby, to your personal body, to the baby's body, to the baby's routine, your new routine, and all that jazz. Excuse me please, my throat is really painful, but I'm going to pull through with this video. I have to, okay, I have to. Okay, so it's the inability to adapt to everything, to life in general, and the new life after having a baby. So I struggled, okay? I struggled a lot. I still am struggling, but I feel like it's a bit better now than when she was first born. I told you guys a bit about my birth story and how I found out I was pregnant, but I never spoke about how life was after we brought the baby home. And by home I mean at my parents' home. So yeah, so when we brought her home, my baby was screaming. She has been screaming since the day that she was home, or she was born rather. Ever since the hospital, she has been screaming her lungs out. Yes, granted, her father's a very loud man. Not loud as in like he screams at me or whatever, no, like he just has a loud commanding voice, and therefore she also has a very loud and commanding voice too. So her cry is like that noise, that obnoxious loud noise cry in your ear that's just like ding that causes a ding in your head, in your ears rather. So I couldn't handle that. She would cry before she ate, she would cry while she's eating, she would cry after she eats, or after she drinks her milk. When I say eat, I mean drink milk, right? Breast milk, that is. She would cry before she sleeps, she would cry when she wakes up, she would cry while we're changing the nappy, she would cry before changing the nappy, after changing the nappy, she would cry while you're trying to get the wind out of her tummy, she would cry while you stretching her body, she would cry after, she'll cry during our walks. I tried walking with her. She would cry at church, she would cry at malls, in the car. No, I'm lying. In the car she was a bit calm, but immediately after the car stops, she will cry. While we're going to the car, she'll cry and scream. Listen, she cried and cried and cried and cried. We took her to a pediatrician, we took her to a chiropractor, we took her to different pediatricians, that is, different pediatricians. Different people saw my baby, and all of them kept telling me the same thing, that the baby is totally fine. On my birthday this year, that weekend, we spent 2 nights. We spent the day before my birthday and the day after my birthday in hospital. She was admitted because she was vomiting a lot and everything, but when we got to the hospital, they told us nothing is wrong with the baby, but she had a drip in just to monitor her and everything. She was crying throughout, okay? And she would cry in my arms, she would cry in my mom's arms, she would cry in my dad's arms, my brother's arms, she would cry in her dad's arms. She cried, okay? So I'm going to give 5 different, I don't know what to call them, 5 different points that I learned during this journey that I'm in this journey that I'm in. And some of these things I'm preaching to the choir, me being the choir, but the whole point of this is to be good to yourself. I'm wearing a shirt that says be good to yourself, and that's the one thing that we need to do as moms, as people in general, but as moms, especially new time moms. Be good to yourself, please. So point number 1, I wrote here, nothing was and nothing is in my control. Hlelo's crying. My baby's name is Hlelolenkosi. It means God's plan. And her crying, we call her Hhlelo for short. Hlelo's crying was out of my control. Having to leave the toilet. There was this one time I was doing number 2 in the toilet, right? And I had put her to sleep. It's at night. It's around 8 o'clock in the evening, in the night time rather. And I had put her to sleep. I'm sure that she's out, knocked out, okay? And I'm out there doing my business, and guess what? She starts crying and screaming and all that jazz. I had to stand up without wiping, without finishing doing my business, and I had to rush to the baby to settle her because I was afraid that she would roll on the bed. She was on the bed. I was afraid that she would roll on the bed and eventually fall on the floor, so I had to rush to her. Oh, another thing that I forgot to mention, Hlelo's crying is not the type of cry that you just let her cry out. I've tried the cry it out method. It didn't work. It doesn't work. I've tried tough love. It didn't work. It doesn't work. And the major thing that I learned from that is, since I'm not in control, she must just show me who she is, okay? And you can't, and as much as it frustrated me, I can't keep trying to let her be who I want her to be. And I wanted her to be a non-crying baby, a listening baby, a decent baby who listens to her mama when she tells her to keep quiet. And she just wasn't having it. She just was not having it. That's one incident, right? And then the other incident is when I would eat. I still have to eat with her sleeping, otherwise I constantly need to check on her. I eat so quick now because anything might happen at any time, and things quickly spiral out of control, and that brings me a lot of anxiety. So I'm always like on the go. And people ask all the time, what do you do the whole day? And I'm like, I take care of a very busy and very, 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 very busy baby. Another thing is having to jump out of the bathtub. Those were things like bathtub while I was taking a bath. That happened on numerous occasions when I would swear by my life that I put her to sleep, or I put her to play nicely, and while I'm in the bathtub taking a nice quick but efficient bath, she'd be like, nope, you don't deserve that, girl. I need you here right now. Even if I had help, we have a helper and she comes in Monday to Friday, but there'd be days like during the weekend or when the helper's not here by chance, or when my mom needs to do something and I need to take care of the baby. Look, things just happen out of my control, and I had to accept that, and I had to surrender everything to God, because if I go by my strength, if I go by my might and by my own willy-nilly whatever, I wouldn't have been able to handle everything that I've been through these past 10 months. It's been, I don't know what hell feels like, so I can't say hell, but it's been a lot. It's been a long journey where you don't have freedom to do anything at any time, and that brings about anxiety and depression, because you're just like, what the heck is going on? Where are we? What are we doing? How? When? Why? So yeah. Point number 2. No, I had to learn that nobody owes you anything, and this was a hard pill to swallow. Okay, nobody owes you anything, and this includes your parents, this includes your partner, this includes your friends, everybody. Okay, everyone. I'm gonna give you a couple of scenarios where I learned the hard way that yes, you can rely on people, but they don't owe you jack. Okay, I felt entitled to my mom's help. I felt entitled to her suffering with me. I constantly asked my mom, like, was I such a difficult baby? And she's like, no, I was a very peaceful baby. When people tell you the first 3 months, the first couple of months of a baby's life, the baby's always sleeping, the baby's always peaceful and whatever. I never experienced that. I never ever experienced that, and that brought about bitterness inside of me, and that brought about sadness, and I almost want to say regret, but I quickly had to snap out of that and be grateful, because her life, Helo's life, is a huge blessing unto me, and it's a huge blessing unto my family. It's a huge blessing. She's a huge she's a huge blessing to her dad, and we can't imagine life before her. Like, we can't remember what it was like before her existence. And yeah, so I felt entitled to my mom's help. I felt entitled to my brother's help, and I quickly had to learn that no, these people's help is because they love me, because they love my baby, because they love us. Therefore they're going to help us, therefore they're going to be there to support us and all of that. But when they can't, I shouldn't take it personally. I shouldn't take it for granted that they will always be there. I need to remember that my mom has a full-time job. I need to remember that my brother has a life of his own, and he's not the father to this baby. The father to the baby is a full hands-on dad, and his responsibility as a dad, I should give it to him and all of that. I felt entitled to my boyfriend's help also, Hlelo's dad. And to some extent, I felt like he had to suffer the way that I was suffering. Remember, we're in a long distance relationship, so he doesn't see us every single day. But yes, we do call every day, we do FaceTime every day and whatever, but he doesn't spend the full 24 hours with us every day. But somewhere in the back of my mind, I expected him to suffer the way that I was suffering. I expected him not to go out for dinner dates with his friends and family and all of that just because I wasn't going out with my friends and my family. I expected him not to have a great time with his friends just because I wasn't having a great time with my friends. I expected him not to sleep at night just because I wasn't sleeping at night. But that was unrealistic. That's not nice. That's not the way that it should go. Yes, we are both 100% in the baby's life. However, since he's not here, why shouldn't he sleep? Why shouldn't I should give him the grace that I would like for him to give me, or that I would like for God to grant me, and the grace that God so freely gives me every single day. And also, I need to remember that this man works, okay? So he can't be up the whole night just because I'm up at night, because he needs to wake up in the morning, and when he's up, I'll be going back to sleep and all of that, all that jazz. So yeah, I felt entitled to my friends' visits. Most when a baby's born, people come and they bring gifts for the baby. My friends came and everyone brought gifts, right? And they brought gifts for the baby. But when I thought about it, I was like, no man, I'm your friend, not this baby. This baby just came here yesterday, so why are you bringing her gifts and not me? Why not bring me a chocolate or something? You don't know how much I've been suffering. This baby has just been crying the whole day and whatever, but I'm the one who's been your friend all this time. But I quickly had to remember that these people, I also felt entitled to people visiting me in the first place. I felt entitled to people calling me, or when I call them, they should answer their phones every single time. I'm embarrassed to admit this. I'm really embarrassed to admit this, but my thing is, I felt entitled to all of this, and I quickly had to realize nobody owes me anything. My friends don't owe me answering their the phones. What? They don't owe me to visit me. They don't owe me chocolates. They don't owe me presents. They don't owe this baby presents. They owe us nothing. This life owes us nothing. Nobody owes you jack. That's my point. Nobody owes you jack. And the sooner I realized it, the less expectations I had on anyone, and that's when I was more at peace, knowing that anything that goes. If they answer, they call the phones, they answer. If they don't, it's cool. They're probably busy and they'll get back to me as soon as possible. But because I was irrational at the time, I couldn't understand why they didn't answer their phones. Hormones and everything. Get me sharp. Point number 3, whatever you can delegate, do it with all your heart, my darling. Do it. Delegate. Give that baby to somebody else so that you can get that extra 2 hours of sleep, because honey, you need it. If you can ask your helper, your cousin, your friend, whoever you can ask for help, ask them so that you can take a decent long bath, so you can poop in peace and actually wipe your butt, okay? So that you can eat slowly, nicely. Of course, you can't do this every single day because you have a baby, but every once in a while, at least once a week, ask for this help so that you can do all the things that you love. Go shopping, go for ice cream, delegate. If you can ask someone to come do the baby's laundry, because the washing machine somehow messes up the baby's clothes, whether you bought the clothes at Woolies or whatever cheaper shop, the clothes get ruined, okay, whether it was from a boutique or something, but the clothes get ruined, so unless you hand wash them. So if you can ask somebody else to help you with the baby's laundry, that would be fantastic. That's one thing I can say that I got so much help from. That's the baby's laundry, and I was and I still am so grateful for that, because if I had to do that every single day, every single week, oh my goodness, my hands would be so scratchy. What's that word in English? Yeah, they'd be very scratchy. So yeah, ask for help, and if they say no, that's the worst you can get, a no, but otherwise you would have asked. See? Sharp. Point number 4, you are not perfect. I had to come to this realization that I'm not perfect. I'm not a perfect mom, I'm not a perfect friend, I'm not a perfect daughter, I'm not a perfect servant, I'm not a perfect I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect to anyone. God is perfect, Jesus is perfect, and I should strive to be like Jesus. I strive for that perfection, but I will never ever be perfect. And comparing my baby to somebody else whose life may look perfect because of Instagram, because of YouTube and everything, kudos to them, but I'm not perfect, and nobody expects me to be perfect. Nobody expects you to be perfect. So wusa, relax, calm down, okay? Calm down. Every calling has a cost. I was listening to a podcast by my favorite YouTubers, and that's Chad and Tori. I was listening to their podcast, and they were talking about how every calling has a cost, and every blessing, it comes with some sort of hardship, it comes with some sort of burden, but that's because that reminds us that if you rely on your own strength, if you rely on your own power, if you rely on your own might and your own abilities, you will quickly fall. You will quickly fall in the temptation of you are mighty and whatever, or you will quickly fall like and you will crash, and your enemies will laugh at you. So yeah, you rely on God, give all the glory and honor to God. Like I said, Psalm 55 verse 22 talks about cast your burdens on the Lord and he will sustain you. And casting is not just peacefully giving, no, cast them like dilatlele, throw them all on Christ, to Christ. He will carry them for you. They're too heavy for you. He will carry them for you, and he will help you. He will give you the strength. He will comfort you. He will give you all the hugs and all the kisses that you need from heaven. So yeah, number 5, and this is my last one. Try to make the best of the season that you are in. It's very difficult. Mothering is very, very difficult, and I don't want to lie to you, okay? When you wake up in the morning, first thing you think of, sometimes even you don't sleep at night. You don't sleep at night because the baby's sick, or because she's nibbly, or because she's or every 5 minutes or every hour. Sometimes you need to pump. Sometimes you can't even sleep on your stomach because your boobs get painful. Sometimes, kuningi man, it's a lot. So making the best of the season that you are in, it's very easy, like I did. It's very easy to complain the whole time, but it's not right. Count your blessings more than your burdens. I'm preaching to the choir, remember. Count your blessings more than your burdens. And what should you do about your burdens? Cast them to the Lord, because He will sustain you. You can't sustain yourself. He will sustain you. So what I've been trying to do is trying to take care of myself better. Yes, taking care of the baby too, but filling my cup so that I'm able to pour into her little cup as well. If my cup is empty, I can't pour anything into hers. So